French President Francois Hollande is speaking right now, and we're getting some headlines right now. He's saying that there's several dead, injured in Paris. He says there's a state of alert now in Paris. And according to AP, he is saying that the military is being deployed around Paris after unprecedented attacks. You can see him speaking there. He is speaking in French. We do not have a translation, but we are bringing you the headlines as they cross. Also, we are learning that Hollande is saying that France is closing the French border. Jim, have you ever heard of something like that in recent history when something that extreme has happened in relation to these kind of attacks? Again, France saying it was closing its borders.
That is new to me for a terrorist attack, and it may say that they fear and believe that quite a bit of what has supported the attacks on them are people who have come from Syria and that part of the world, that part of the Mediterranean and the Levant during these hostilities in Syria and the birth of ISIS and the rest. They're worried about what's coming across their borders. Europe is torn apart by this. Germany going one way, other countries going others. Everybody arguing it's a real risk to the continued existence of the European Union. I think the French are just putting a block on things for a while they see if they can get on top of it.
Director Woolsey, what's next? What happens in the wave of these? In the wave of these acts of violence? We've seen this before. There's a conversation about it for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, and then seemingly things go back to normal. But this is one of those incidents where it shakes the consciousness. What is next for France? What is next for the European continent?
Well, I'm afraid what may be next is more sort of very limited activity against ISIS, in part because the Americans aren't doing that much. Even in the current weakened state of our military, we have a larger and very capable military, and particularly our special forces and Marines and our air forces and the like. And if we were taking the lead and really fighting this war, taking on ISIS and taking on those who are trying to support Assad in Syria, then we might bestir the Europeans to get going and work with us, and we'd all together try to crush the enemy. But that's not what we're doing yet. We're just kind of fiddling around, and you don't go to war that way. If you're going to war, you have to destroy or so completely intimidate your enemy that he gives up, and this will be very hard to do with ISIL. But we can't just sit here and do what we've been doing so far.